My ex-wife didn't show up asking for me. She showed up asking if we could rebuild our family, and I haven't had a quiet thought since. 3 years ago, she sat me down at our kitchen table after the girls were asleep and told me she was gay. Not confused, not experimenting, just certain in a way that made it clear she'd already fought that battle inside herself long before I even knew there was one. I didn't yell or beg or flip out. I just sat there feeling like the ground had shifted under my life while everything around me looked exactly the same. 6 weeks later, she moved out, and just like that, I was the parent who stayed in a house that suddenly felt too big and too quiet. My daughters were 7 and 9, one of them convinced that if she wished hard enough, we'd all go back to normal. The other already old enough to understand that some things don't rewind no matter how badly you want them to. Being the one who stays isn't heroic, it's heavy. Because I was heartbroken, but still packing lunches, helping with homework, braiding hair, making Sunday pancakes like routine alone could hold the whole thing together. Some nights after they went to bed, I'd sit on the kitchen floor with my back against the cabinets and let myself fall apart for a few minutes because that was the only place nobody needed me to be strong. And before anyone assumes she vanished, she didn't. She showed up to every recital, every soccer game, every birthday, called every night without fail. She didn't abandon her kids. She just couldn't stay married to me, and learning to hold both of those truths at once took more growth than I expected. Over time, we built a new normal that wasn't what I imagined for my life, but was steady and real. 3 years of routines, therapy, awkward dating attempts that went nowhere because I wasn't actually ready. 3 years of focusing on my girls and slowly becoming okay again. Not thriving in some movie montage way, but solid, and I was proud of solid. Then 5 weeks ago, she knocked on my door on a random Saturday afternoon, eyes red from crying, and asked if she could come in, and we ended up at the same kitchen table where everything once ended, except this time, she told me her relationship had fallen apart and that she misses the girls in a way the custody schedule doesn't fix. And then she said she misses our family. Not me romantically, she was clear about that, but the feeling of the 4 of us under one roof, the way the house used to feel. And she asked if there was any version of reality where we could give the girls more of that again. Maybe through a nesting arrangement where they stay in the house and we rotate in and out so their world feels stable. Since then, my mind has been running nonstop. My mom thinks I've lost it. My best friend keeps asking if I'm secretly hoping for something that isn't there. My therapist keeps pushing me to separate nostalgia from intention, and I keep coming back to the same thought. My daughters didn't choose this split, and if there's a way to give them more consistency without undoing the growth I fought hard for, don't I at least owe it to them to think it through? I'm not confused about who she is or why our marriage ended, and I'm not trying to rewind a chapter that closed for real reasons, but when you build a life and raise 2 kids with someone, that bond doesn't just evaporate because the title changes, it shifts into something more complicated, and now I'm standing in the middle of something complicated again, except this time I'm steadier than I was 3 years ago, trying to make a choice that future me won't regret, and trying very hard not to end up back on that kitchen floor after bedtime pretending I'm fine when I'm not.